Boundaries are not barriers that push people away. They are connections that create safe spaces between you and others. They help clarify where you end and someone else begins. Many people are taught that love means sacrifice, often at the expense of their well-being. But setting healthy boundaries allows you to protect your energy, time, and peace without disconnecting from others. For example, someone who says yes to every request from their friends might feel liked, but they often end up overwhelmed and emotionally drained. By setting clear and compassionate limits, they preserve their sense of self and actually strengthen trust. Boundaries don't just prevent burnout, they foster mutual respect. If you've ever feared that setting a boundary might push someone away, remember that real connection thrives when both people feel safe to speak their truth. Understanding your own needs is the first step to setting healthy boundaries. This starts with self-awareness, paying attention to your emotions, values, and even the signals your body sends you. Think about the last time you said yes when you wanted to say no. Did you feel a tightness in your chest or a sense of unease? That's your inner GPS alerting you that something isn't right. For example, one client realized she always got headaches after long phone calls with a certain friend. Once she recognized this discomfort, she limited calls to once a week and felt immediate relief. Self-reflection, whether through journaling or simply asking yourself why you feel off, builds your ability to make better choices. The more you understand yourself, the easier it becomes to express your needs with confidence and clarity. Once you're clear on your boundaries, communicating them effectively is what brings them to life. How you deliver your message is just as important as the message itself. Speaking calmly and clearly, with respect and warmth, fosters connection rather than conflict. For example, saying, "I really value our friendship and I also need time to recharge after work," is far more effective than snapping, "I don't want to talk right now." Good communication invites understanding instead of defensiveness. Many people fear that asserting their needs will create tension, but in most cases, people appreciate honesty when it's expressed with care. Think of communication as the gentle but firm delivery system for your truth. When done thoughtfully, it becomes a tool for building stronger, more authentic relationships. Enjoyed the video so far? If you have, hit the like and subscribe. It really supports the channel and lets me know you appreciate the content. Don't forget to check out the recommended reading in the description. Let's get back to it. Setting boundaries can bring up feelings of guilt, especially if you're used to putting others first. Guilt often stems from the false belief that you must make everyone happy to be loved. But sacrificing your well-being to avoid discomfort only leads to resentment. One woman I worked with felt guilty every time she turned down a family member's request. After months of overextending herself, she became exhausted and anxious. She finally decided to say, "I want to help, but I can't right now." And the relationship didn't fall apart. It became more balanced. Guilt isn't proof that you've done something wrong. It's simply a sign that you're breaking old patterns. The key is to feel the guilt, understand it, and move forward anyway. Healthy boundaries aren't acts of selfishness, they're acts of self-respect. Your body often signals when boundaries are being crossed, even if you don't voice them. Chronic stress, fatigue, and physical pain can all indicate that your boundaries need attention. Research shows that people who struggle to say no are more prone to burnout and anxiety. Your nervous system thrives on feeling safe, and boundaries create that safety. For instance, someone who feels obligated to check work emails late into the night may experience poor sleep, low energy, and strained relationships. Setting a firm boundary like disconnecting after 7 p.m. can lead to noticeable improvements in health and well-being. Boundaries aren't just about emotional health, they're essential for physical vitality. Prioritizing your peace of mind isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. In personal relationships, boundaries are vital for mutual respect. Whether with family, a romantic partner, or a close friend, boundaries help both individuals feel secure. Take the example of a young woman who constantly listened to her sister's problems, leaving no space for her own voice. Over time, she felt invisible. When she finally said, "I love you, but I need us to share the conversation," her sister initially resisted but eventually appreciated the more balanced dynamic. Boundaries don't harm love, they nurture it. They create space for each person to be heard, seen, and supported. Loving someone doesn't mean neglecting your own needs. It means showing up authentically, which is only possible when boundaries are honored. Workplace boundaries are essential for protecting your energy and productivity. Without them, the line between work and personal life can blur, leaving you constantly on the clock. Consider an employee who kept saying yes to every project to prove her worth, only to end up overwhelmed and resentful. When she started setting boundaries by saying, "I'm at capacity right now, can we revisit this next week?" she earned respect, not rejection, from her manager. Healthy work boundaries include practices like time blocking, taking breaks, and being honest about your workload. They don't make you less committed, they help you show up more fully. Respect at work begins with how you respect yourself. When you honor your time and energy, others are more likely to follow suit. Not everyone will welcome your boundaries. People who once benefited from your lack of limits may resist the changes you make. That's okay. It's unrealistic to expect immediate acceptance. For instance, one man I worked with stopped being the family fixer, and some relatives responded with guilt trips and anger. But he stayed calm, repeated his boundary, and gave them space to adjust. Over time, their relationship shifted from codependent to cooperative. Pushback is often just discomfort with change. Hold your boundary with grace, not aggression. Let others process their feelings. It's not your job to manage them. Your responsibility is to stay true to yourself. Emotional intelligence is key to managing your reactions when setting boundaries feels challenging. It begins with acknowledging your feelings rather than ignoring them. When you feel overwhelmed, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, what's happening inside me? That brief pause creates space to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Children learn about boundaries by observing how you set and honor your own. When you calmly say no or take time for self-care, you show them that it's okay to prioritize their needs. For example, one mother realized she always dropped everything when her kids interrupted her. She began saying, "I'll be with you in 5 minutes, I'm finishing something important." Initially, her kids protested, but soon they learned patience and began to respect her space. Teaching boundaries helps children build emotional resilience and communication skills. It's not about control, but about creating an environment where both kids and adults can thrive. When children see boundaries modeled well, they grow up with the confidence to set their own. Boundaries are most effective when they are clear yet flexible. Life is constantly changing, and so are your needs. Rigidity can strain relationships, while consistency strengthens them. For example, someone I know had a rule against attending social events on weeknights. However, when her best friend needed support after a breakup, she chose to make an exception. The key is to make thoughtful decisions, rather than reacting out of guilt. Flexibility demonstrates that you are considerate, not indecisive. It also shows others that your boundaries are rooted in wisdom, not fear. You don't need to justify every decision. You simply need to stay true to your values. That's what true consistency looks like. Ultimately, boundaries are more than just a strategy. They're a way of life. They empower you to protect your peace, speak your truth, and build relationships rooted in respect. Consider a woman who once felt drained by life. By consistently setting small boundaries like turning off her phone during dinner or declining invitations that didn't align with her needs, she felt a profound shift. She felt more empowered, lighter, and more joyful. She didn't lose friends, she lost stress. Boundaries don't signal the end of love. They mark the beginning of deeper, more authentic connections. When you honor your time and energy, others learn to do the same. It's not rejection, it's respect. It's the life you deserve. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. See you in the next one.